Nishane773. Thank you so much for checking out my video. For those of you in my video for the first time, I just want to say welcome in. Thank you so much for viewing my video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, I would truly appreciate it. For those that have been here the whole time and all my new subscribers, I just want to say thank you so much for your likes, for your comments. Love the positive comments. They truly do go a long way. Today's video is part 3 of me going through all of the fragrances that I purchased within my 5-month stint of just kind of, getting away from social media. So I have 12 fragrances that I want to talk about today, and I'm gonna group them. So the first fragrances that I want to talk about are from Clive Christian. I picked up 3 fragrances from the brand, and the first one that I want to talk about is called Matsukita. So Matsukita has the notes of, let me pull that up really quick, has the notes of pink pepper, bergamot, nutmeg. Middle notes are, I believe that is mate, Chinese jasmine, Jasmine Sambac, Guaiac wood. The base notes are woody notes, balsam fir, amber, and musk. So what does this fragrance smell like? I actually sprayed this on me earlier, so I'm gonna get a quick sniff. And the thing about this fragrance is that I think it leans more towards an older crowd. So as I spray this fragrance, I get a lot of those floral and nutmeg notes. This keeps very heavy with the nutmeg note. So if you're not into nutmeg fragrances, I would say this fragrance is not for you. And again, like I said before, this kind of leans a little bit more older. So initial sprays, I'll go ahead and spray this for you so you can see how the sprayer is. But this one has kind of like a wild cough syrupy type of smell in the beginning, a little bit of burnt wires, but then it will start to get a little bit sweeter on skin. Start to get a lot of that nutmeg in this fragrance, but it keeps the kind of like this burning wire smell. As I continuously let this dry down, that burnt wire smell starts to go away a bit. So I think if you're looking for something that's kind of like in that, like I said before, it seems a bit more for an older crowd of a person. I don't love this fragrance, but I do like it. It's starting to grow on me a little bit as I continuously wear it. But again, this one is Matsukita. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is Town and Country. This one I definitely like. The reason why I like this one is because it has ambergris in this one. There's Clary Sage in the top notes, ambergris, and sandalwood. So this one kind of smells a little bit like an ambroxany ambergris type of smell. Overall, a very nice smell for Clive Christian, because a lot of their fragrances do seem a bit dated, except for this one and I would say also another fragrance or a couple of the other newer fragrances from the line. But overall, Town and Country is very nice as well. Like I said, has that really nice ambergris up top. The sandalwood makes it very smooth. It's not super wild or anything like that, and kind of projects and carries very nicely. So again, if you're looking for something that's kind of on that, like I said, new age for Clive Christian, this is a good one to check out. This one is Town and Country. And the last one that I picked up is Crabapple Blossom. So Crabapple Blossom is this very nice, I would say it's a sweet fragrance overall, but has like bits of floral as well. And C notes. I think the C notes really jump out in this fragrance. So the top notes include C notes, Bergamot and Apple Blossom, along with mid notes of Mojito and Rhubarb. And then in the base, you're going to get Driftwood and Sandalwood. So I think that overall that that mixture of the C notes and the Bergamot and Apple Blossom kind of remind me a little bit of Iggy from Nishane. That's like a blue bottle. It's very C note heavy. So in the beginning with this one, you're going to get a large amount of those C notes. As it dries down a bit more, you'll get a little bit of that mojito type of vibe. So it almost smells a little minty. It also smells a little bit salty as well. And then the sweet notes kind of start to pop in. It's not overly sweet. It's not underly sweet, but a very nice fragrance overall. This one again is Crab Apple Blossom. The next fragrances that I want to talk about are from Zaharoff. So I've had these for a while. I've been sitting on them and just trying to really get to know them. So I bought these in the summertime. And the first fragrance that I want to talk about is Signature Citrine. So this fragrance to me is a beautiful fragrance that is very floral and also very airy as well. Has a little bit of sweetness, but overall a very nice spring and summer type of fragrance. This one includes the notes of Mandarin Orange and Sweet Orange at the top. Then you're going to get Guatemalan Cardamom, Red Currant and Fennel. Middle notes are Clementine, Jasmine Sambac, Fig Tree, Pink Pepper, Cistus, Musk, Plum, Ambergris, Olibanum, Patchouli, Oak Moss, Myrrh, and Oud. Now, this fragrance does have a lot of notes, but it's really blended very well, where you're not getting a lot of the, I'd say, deeper, darker notes. This is a very clean fragrance overall. As I spray it on, I get a lot of that, again, citrus and jasmine is what I'm getting from the fragrance overall. And then a little bit of the fig. That's where the sweetness comes in, I think, and the clementine. Overall, this one is a very nice fragrance. Like I said before, something soft for the spring and summertime. I think as the wind blows, especially being in the Windy City, you'll get a lot of the wafting. So a lot of that sillage is very strong for this fragrance. And I think this one is very office appropriate as well. So again, this one is Signature Citrine. The next one that I picked up is Coco Loco. So there was something beautiful about this bottle and the box and everything for this one that really made me want to check this one out. There were a lot of people that were talking about this as well when it first came out, and I thought this was going to be a great summer banger, and I was not disappointed at all. So I did put a little bit of a dent in this, wearing this in the summertime. This includes notes of clementine, pineapple, pear, cardamom, coconut, pimento, star jasmine, cedar, neroli, tonka bean, vanilla, heliotrope, white musk, and benzoin. Now, like Signature Citrine, I think this one is also blended very well. I'm going to go ahead and give this a spray as well. And you get a lot of this like really dry sweetness, almost like crushed sweet tarts that were, I would say that are wet. So it has a sweet tart vibe, at first, and then as the fragrance starts to develop a little bit more, I think you get more of the coconut, you get a lot of the neroli as well. Then I get a bit of that vanilla and then white musk. I don't get all of the other notes in this fragrance, but I think this one is a beautiful fragrance. It lasted me about 6 hours total, I think, in the summertime, but because we're in the winter time, I've also been trying to spray this a little bit more, and I get a little bit better projection than I did in the summertime, surprisingly enough. But overall, this one is definitely something that you should check out. I would try before I buy, but this one is Coco Loco. The next fragrances that I want to talk about are from Nishane. So I bought a lot of the X collection, 3 to be exact. So the first one that I want to talk about is one of my favorites, and this one is Ani X. I really think that Cecile Zarokian did so much better on this fragrance overall. This one is so nice. It's very dusty, vanillic, and patchouli based, and she does patchouli and vanilla very, very well. She has, or I have, about, what is it, like 3 or 4 other fragrances that she has vanilla and patchouli in, and I believe that this one is absolutely amazing, worth checking out. The notes for Ani X are bergamot, lemon, melon, ginger, cardamom, water notes, pink, pepper, and then the mid you're gonna get green apple, black currant, sage, patchouli, lavender, and rose. And then finally in the base, you're gonna get vanilla, sandalwood, cashmere wood, white musk, ambergris, and cedar. Now, I know everybody gets something different from every fragrance, but again, like I said, I get a very, very smooth smelling vanilla patchouli fragrance. And that is something that I really love about this fragrance. I think it's brighter. I think it's a little bit better than the original Ani. I thought the original Ani was like a bit more peppery. It was kind of rough in some spots, but this one is so smooth. Definitely something that you should check out. Again, this one is Ani X. The next one that I want to talk about is Hachivat X. So Hachivat X, I think, is a lot better than the original Hachivat. I think it's a little bit brighter, it's a little bit smoother, and projects a bit more than the original Hachivat. Again, I thought the original Hachivat versus Hachivat X is a lot rougher around the edges, where this one was smoothed out a little bit more, but this one includes pineapple, bergamot, and pink pepper. And then the mid notes are lime, Tunisian orange blossom, and jasmine. And then you're gonna get Haitian vetiver, patchouli, and cedar. So those notes together make this thing absolutely amazing. I'm gonna get a spray on skin just to get that opening. I think, again, like I said, is so much smoother. If you want a smoother Hachivat, if you want something that is crisp, clean, that pineapple note really blasts and projects in this one is so good. The patchouli is a lot smoother in this one. So again, this one is Hachivat X. The last one that I have from the Nishane line is Fan Your Flames X. Now, I don't think it's redundant to have Fan Your Flames X in the original Fan Your Flames. I feel like this one is way different than the original. The notes for this one include rum, coconut, you have tobacco, carrot. I think the carrot note is something that's new in this one. I'm not sure. Tonka bean, thyme, patchouli, oak moss, and cedar. So this one, instead of having like that big blast of the rum note, this one has more of a dry patchouli-ish, or I guess the oak moss. The dry patchouli, oak mossy rum is like kind of balanced a little bit better in this fragrance. I think it's a little bit cleaner, easier to wear as well. You can probably wear this one year round, where I think the original of Fan Your Flames is something for more of cold weather. This one overall is clean, very fresh, but also has a little bit of that boozy nuance that's toned down with a higher patchouli oak moss type of smell. But overall, very, very good fragrance. Fan Your Flames X. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is from Primera Perfumes, and this one is La Dolce Vita. Now, this fragrance I saw and heard a lot about from a lot of other people, and they were ranting and raving about this fragrance being a very, very good tobacco-based fragrance. And I definitely agree, but there are notes in here that I don't necessarily love too much of. So the notes include dates, nutmeg, lavender, pink pepper. In the mid, you're going to get geranium, tobacco, oud assam, and olibanum. And then finally in the base, you're going to get musk, sandalwood, vetiver, tulu balsam, and amber accords. This fragrance is very, very heavily nutmeg present. So I'm going to spray this one here. The nutmeg is so strong in this fragrance. The mixture of the dates, nutmeg, and pink pepper is what I get in the beginning. It shocks the nose right away. Also that lavender, I think that may be what the weird vibe is to me. But as this fragrance starts to kind of like tone down, hit the mid notes, so after about a good 5 to 10 minutes, it turns into more of a resinous tobacco fragrance that I really enjoy. So it's just getting past that initial smell. Like I said before, the weirdness of that nutmeg, lavender, date, pink pepper thing up top is starting to go away now. And like I said, I'm getting a very, very nice ambery tobacco type of vibe that's starting to come into this fragrance. But overall, like I said, if you can get past the 5 to 10 minutes, or if you like nutmeg and fragrances, I think this is definitely a fragrance that you should check out. This one is La Dolce Vita. Next on the list is a fragrance from Roja Dove, and this one is Isola Blue. So I had to pick this one up because I've heard so much about it. Shout out to my boy Cordell. He was talking about this one like crazy. It's one of his favorites, so I had to check it out. This one has bergamot, lime, lemon, thyme, and lavender in it, with mid notes of apple, black currant, orange blossom, champaca, jasmine, coconut, lily. There's juniper berries, birch, pink pepper, so many different notes, vanilla, orris root, leather. I'm not gonna name them all, but has a lot of notes. This one is a fragrance that kind of leans a little bit light and then starts to kind of project a little bit off my skin. So I'm gonna spray this one here, kind of running out of room here. But In the top, I get a lot of that freshness. So you're getting the lemon, you're getting the lime, you're getting that thyme and the lavender. As the fragrance starts to develop, you start to get a little bit of that apple as well. The black currant kind of gives it like a little sparkly vibe. I get the jasmine as well, so the floral notes start to really pop in as well to give it kind of a sweet, dirty vibe. And then, like I said, overall, this fragrance is a very smooth fragrance. I think this one also leans a little bit on the, what's the word? I think if you're 30 and older, this fragrance works well for you. It's a very mature type of fragrance, but a very clean, masculine leaning, but still unisex fragrance overall. Again, this one is Isola Blue. The final fragrances that I want to talk about are from Dreamhouse Ikiryo. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I'm a big fan of Dreamhouse Ikiryo fragrances. And the first one that I want to talk about is Candyman Blackthorn. So Candyman Blackthorn is a fragrance that is extremely strong. This includes blackthorn, jasmine, Spanish moss, honey, and neroli. So this one is very, very heavily used in the winter for me. I would use this in the fall time, the winter time, anytime the weather is like 50 degrees and colder. This will definitely warm you up. You get a very strong blast of the jasmine that's in here, and I think the Spanish moss and honey start to kick in, and then all of a sudden that blackthorn really starts to push and project. So this fragrance has a little bit of a, it almost has like kind of a burnt fire type of vibe to it. Other than that, it's a very strong, very, very masculine fragrance overall. So if you're looking for something that has sweetness, masculine, has kind of like that burning fire type of smell, this is a very good fragrance to check out. So again, this one is Candyman Blackthorn. The last fragrance that I want to talk about is called Every When and Then Again. So this fragrance is a fragrance that he put out where he was doing a contest to see what notes were in this fragrance. The notes aren't listed anywhere, but what I get from this fragrance is kind of like a dry, woody, resinous type of a vibe. This fragrance tends to change constantly on my skin. So at first I get like that churchy type of vibe. So I'm assuming there's patchouli, myrrh, there's something like that in here, along with a bit of like amber as well. So it reminds me a little bit of 40 Thieves from Fort Manley. Then I get a little bit of florals as well. I'm assuming that there's jasmine in here. And then as the fragrance starts to get a little bit in the base, I don't know if there's sandalwood or anything like that in here, but it starts to smooth out. Then I get maybe a little bit of some vanilla or something that really gives it like a nice calm sweetness. So starts off, like I said, very strong with the amber churchy vibe, and then you start to get into the florals, and then finally you get into like a base that's kind of smooth and a little bit sweet. But overall, such a great ride on this fragrance. Again, this one is Every When and Then Again. So thank you so much for checking out my video. I truly do appreciate it. I'm gonna come back with a part 4, so we have a lot more fragrances to go over. Again, have a blessed day and take care.